a case study involving Creativity Inc. and Reveel. Keith Washington is Chief Operating Officer with Creativity Inc. Hello,
Good
Keith.
morning, Bob. Good morning, Bob.
And Alec Greene is Director of Client Experience with Reveel. Hello, Alec.
Hi, Bob.
So, Keith, tell me about who you guys are. Who is Creativity Inc.? What do you do?
Yeah, Creativity Inc. is a small company, or small mid-sized company out of just north of Kansas City. We do anything and everything you need to make a quilt. So think of it as between your yarn, your fabric, anything anything you need. We can provide that, and we do provide that for quite a few of our customers over the years. So,
Wow, what an interesting niche that you occupy. That's great. What was the challenge that you faced, however, Keith, that led to this case study we're about to talk about?
yeah, expenses associated with shipping. Just like every other company in the country or the world, you're always looking at where your expenses go. And what we had at the time was probably expenses that were a little out of line. So we looked to Reveel to kind of help us figure out what's the best way for us to move forward.
Alec, what did you feel Reveel was bringing to the table when they came to you for this?
Yeah, I felt like Reveal brings a very, robust technology solution. Partnering that with a team full of experts that have a lot of experience within the industry. I feel like we're very well positioned to guide our customers through any kind of complex questions that they have as far as managing their parcel spend.
Keith, were there any challenges involved in adopting the Reveel solution? What was involved in implementation?
No, that's actually relatively simple. You obviously set up your data feeds, you feed it into the Reveel system. They do their magic, and then they basically come back to you with potential. And I think that's key to this case study, right? So everything's about potential, right? Where your business is going, where your business can go, what you're spending today, how you're spending it, especially from a parcel aspect. And I think that parcel companies and shippers do a really good job of making it as confusing as possible. What Reveel does is they come in and they take that data and they make it consumable, where you actually can make a decision to move forward with it. So implementation, going back to that question, relatively easy. It's all about setting up your data and the feed to them, and then really starting to be candid with them from a conversation standpoint about how you're spending your dollars today.
So tell me more a little bit about what aspects of the Reveel software that you specifically employ in your negotiations.
Yeah, so the way they go about this is they take your current environment or your current agreement, they set that up as a baseline. Then they look at where your current spend is. So what the bills that are coming in from your current shipper. They synthesize that to say, okay, this is where your dollars are going. And then they take that data and then they give you what is the opportunity you have from a moving forward standpoint. So either from a negotiation aspect, which they'll take kind of like what your current baseline is, what the new agreement terms could look like, where you have opportunity, where you should go after that, and then put those side by side to give you a feel for if your current business was running as is, this is where you could actually save some dollars.
Alec, tell me from the Reveel perspective, just how you guys find savings. What do you really look for that results in that has these results for your clients, and especially Reveel in this case?
Yeah. So a lot of it is based on expertise within the marketplace. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a very deep team with a wealth of knowledge within pricing in general.
Well, a lot of parcel negotiations or parcel contracts are kind of an annual thing. In most cases, to understand it. Now, Keith, I believe you signed with Reveel in 2021. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So how quickly were they able to come up to speed, and how quickly did savings start to actually realize themselves in your relationship with them?
Yeah, so great question. Actually we were in that negotiating time period when we brought Reveel in. And I think it's key to understand is that because of the confusion that can be caused with the negotiating with shippers and sometimes the tactics that are in play, right? You bring in somebody that's a big support piece, especially that has a really, really deep knowledge base like they do. And then they actually kind of guide you along that particular side. So, from this aspect, we're in the middle of negotiating. We brought them in. They basically kind of helped us guide us into where we felt like that we had some opportunity. We were able to implement that or sign our agreement And we were able to implement that and see savings within that next month. So it was really, really, really quick. And it really kind of brought a value almost immediately to our bottom line from an operational standpoint. But to elaborate further on that is that we've actually gone through a second negotiation with them in the time period since we've signed, and had an equal amount and even a little bit better results that came from the second agreement. So not only is it that when you sign with in an environment like this, that you have, and it, like you said, it's an annualized basis, you have multiple times, especially if you sign a multi-year agreement, you have multiple times to go after that spend in order to leverage out one of the bigger expense items that's sitting on your P&L.
Well, Alec, you have to come at it fresh every year, do you not? Because one of the few things that we know in life is that parcel rates are going to go up after, every year. So do you have to like approach it in a fresh way and find new savings every time? That seems like a constant challenge.
Yeah, it certainly is a challenge. The landscape changes dramatically, as you mentioned, almost annually. So generally speaking, there have been enough changes in the market to take a look every 12 to 18 months or so and find opportunities to see, hey, maybe we can fine tune this area of your agreement a little bit. Perhaps this is an area that we may not have touched as much the last time and needs a little bit of love this next time around. So yeah, we certainly get creative and try to take a holistic approach to make sure that throughout the lifespan of our partnerships, we are addressing, everything that we see opportunity in.
And Keith, how do you integrate the transportation side of it, the negotiation side of it, with other systems within creativity, such as your order management system and especially your warehouse management system? Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Sure. I think that understanding your entire business cycle, right, and all the different pieces that are impacting it, not only just the parcel piece, but how you're moving your business or you're evolving your business over time, which in our particular case, for the last couple of years, we've really adjusted the way that we have kind of looked at the value at the customer side of things, what we're selling, the different items that we're bidding, even just different offers that are sitting out there. So I think that taking what Reveel's kind of perspective on shipping and the things that they've helped you negotiate, looking at that from your particular agreement and looking at the strategic movement forward on what's going on and within your business, aligning those with the different systems you have. So from our case, WMS or OMS, or the people that we're working with in this particular case, Topasco, is partnering with them to say, this spend is basically going up. How can we basically mitigate that on the way that we're shipping out? Maybe that we find different ways for our business to bundle together where we're only sending one package versus 3 or 4. So I think that's where you connect those pieces to the intelligence you have within your organization on how the business is running, to what the agreement is, and where Alec and Reveel come in and telling you how your spend is coming in play, and make sure that you're aligning those appropriately and adjusting appropriately based upon where maybe you see expenses going up or down. So
what more do you hope that Reveel can do for you, Keith, other than, as we said before, constantly renegotiating year to year to find new savings, obviously, but how might you deepen this relationship, and what more would you ask from them?
Yeah, so I would say partnerships with other parts of the company, which is something I think we have in development now. So I mentioned Topasco earlier. So right now that's a conversation that's going on between Reveel and Topasco on saying, how can we take the data points that are as granular as possible within our system, in Topasco in this case, and like what is sitting in each and every package, with what the way that Reveel is looking at it from synthesizing the data on the packages and the bills, and saying, how can we even further understand how that data connects, so we know exactly what we're expecting in the future. And so I take that and then I look at that strategically and say, okay, what can I do within, or like either I'm picking or with how I'm basically sorting them or order, the way that we're looking at what we're going to be moving forward with from an offering standpoint, and say, what is the best way to ship in the long term.
Alec, how do you view this relationship with Keith and creativity has evolved since 2021, and how do you think it might evolve continuously in future?
It's certainly evolved a lot. I think Keith hit the nail on the head, and really our thought behind our entire offering in general is centered around just of a very complicated industry. We are looking to arm all of our customers with true parcel intelligence, helping make sense of things that are very complicated. And this next phase that Keith has mentioned, talking about different integrations that we can offer, really gives us just another opportunity to shine some light on things that might be, very complicated. So when we talk about integrating a few different systems and unlocking things such as, SKU profitability analyses, order matches that come along with that. That gives us the opportunity to continue to arm, Keith and creativity with information that would be pretty hard to sort through on their own.
Keith Washington, I want to thank you so much for telling us the story of Creativity Inc., introducing us to the company and what you guys are doing to untangle the whole equation of parcel shipping and transportation negotiations in general. Alec, Greene, and Reveel Group, what you guys have done to help them achieve that goal. Thanks, gentlemen, both of you, very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.